All right, hey guys, it's Sunday night. I just got home from work and I am going to prepare my pre-workout meal for tomorrow. I always make mine the night before because I like to eat it cold and have it ready to go. It has been my first meal of the day recently because of my new work schedule, and I make it a very particular way. So this is cream of rice, and it's just plain good old granulated rice. So I am in my off season doing a little bit higher carbs right now. So I'm gonna measure out 50 grams of cream of rice, which is going to give me about 40 grams of carbohydrates. The water is the big individual thing here. I have experimented over many years perfecting this just the way I like it. So I personally do, it's just under 2/3 of a cup of water. So it's not a ton of water, and I prefer mine a little bit thicker. A lot of people make it kind of soupy. My husband likes his a little bit soupier, and I just like the consistency of this thicker one a little bit better. So we're gonna pop that in the microwave for 1 minute. And I have been doing this cream of rice pre-workout meal for the last about 4 years, since I started working with my coach, Andrew Barry. So thanks to you, Andrew, for introducing me to this meal because it's delicious and I love it. So basically, pre-workout, you want something that is going to give you enough carbohydrates, enough fuel during your workout, but also something that's easily digested, because the last thing that you want when you're in the middle of a heavy lifting session is to have food sitting in your stomach and still digesting that food. So whatever's going to work best for you. Something that's a little bit lower fiber, that's why, cream of rice maybe over oatmeal will be a little bit better for that pre-workout meal. We're gonna add whey protein, collagen powder, and almond butter as well. So I microwave it for 1 minute. I'm gonna give it a good stir. And then I'm going to cook it for 1 more minute. So the other 2 ingredients, I'm going to add sea salt and Truvia to give it a little bit more sweetness. I have a sweet tooth and I like mine sweet. So we're going to get a little bit of sweetness from the protein powder, but the Truvia is just going to give it that extra deliciousness. Okay, so again, the cream of rice is going to be our easy digested carbohydrate. We're going to add protein powder, obviously, for our protein source, and whey protein is going to be, again, kind of a fast digesting protein that is easy to digest as long as you obviously tolerate dairy and whey. Okay. If not, you could do a vegan protein powder, whatever works best for you. I prefer vanilla with this recipe. And then we're going to use the almond butter to give us a little bit of a fat source to help give a little bit more, help it last a little bit longer. So fats are going to digest a little bit slower than carbs and proteins. All right, so I forgot one thing. Can't forget the cinnamon. So first thing I'm going to do, I don't weigh out my salt, but I kind of just know, I put a decent amount in there. So good amount of salt. I'm gonna do a little dash of cinnamon. my 3 packets of Truvia, and again, that is just completely personal choice. All right, so little pro tip here. When you're measuring your almond butter or peanut butter, I just like the flavor of almond butter better. So you're gonna put the whole jar on your scale. You're gonna tear it to 0, and then you are going to take out enough almond butter to give you the measurement you need. So if you're doing a tablespoon, that's going to be 16 grams. So you just scoop that out until you have the exact amount you need. And then you know that everything on your spoon is accounted for, because we all know, bodybuilders, we get a little obsessive over almond butter and peanut butter. And if you're in contest prep, even more so. We want to lick every little extra bit of that nut butter off the spoon. So this way, everything that's on the spoon is accounted for, and you can be a little bit more accountable for that and make sure that you're doing everything as you're supposed to. And again, so I'm in off season, so sometimes I'll go over a couple of grams and not a big deal. But once I start contest prep, I will make sure that I'm 16 grams or whatever the count is to the dot. And when I started to be much more diligent with my measurements and not allowing for those little extra bites and things here and here, I definitely noticed it made a big difference. And I know in the moment you don't think a little bit here and there makes a big difference, but it all adds up. And when you're trying to go from lean to extremely lean, every little bit counts. And just for consistency purposes, to give that feedback to your coach week to week for your check-ins, it's going to make sure that you're being very consistent, which is going to just make for your coach to be able to make changes when needed, and it's going to make for a much smoother prep and progress. All right, so I've got all the ingredients in there. So this basically kind of makes it's almost like a cake batter, to be honest. And it will thicken up as I put it in the fridge overnight. Of course, so I make it in this super tiny Pyrex bowl. So it's a little challenging at first to just mix it and not fling out all the ingredients. But I'm just gonna work it. And then as everything starts to kind of fling it up, everything starts to kind of melt together and the protein powder dissolves, the almond butter spreads through. It's a little sticky. Yeah. So I just try to mix out any of the chunks. Perfect. And I do, all right, I'll give you a little bit of a close up there. So that is what it looks like. It's hot. So you can see it's kind of like goopy, right? And it's hot, steamy hot. Ouch. All right. So that is it. I'm going to cover this. I'm going to put this in the fridge overnight. And then that'll be ready for me to wake up and eat. I usually eat about an hour to an hour and a half before my workout. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll show you what it looks like as I'm eating it before my workout. And then I'll go over some intra-workout and post-workout nutrition as well. So give this recipe a try if you'd like, if it matches your meal plan in any kind of way, if you want to try something different for your pre-workout. I always feel really good during my workout after having this meal. And again, I have not really changed it up at all. So I've been eating this straight through for 3-4 years now, and it's delicious and I love it. So yeah, I would love to know how you prefer your cream of rice, if that's something that you eat. And I know we all make it, again, a little bit differently, different ratios of water. And I will say there's a tendency for cream of rice to blow up in the microwave. So it took me a bit to learn how to kind of get that ratio of water to grain just right. And obviously the size of the bowl will make a difference too, but it is one of the most frustrating things when that happens. And if it's happened to you, you know what I'm talking about. It just makes a fucking mess, and it's sticky, and you basically, there's no saving it. You almost have to just start fresh. So, all right, so it's 10 p.m. I'm going to eat my last meal, and I will see you guys in the morning. All right, guys, good morning. It's about 10 o'clock the following morning, and here is the cream of rice I made last night. You can see it has thickened up quite a bit. So that is the consistency that I like my cream of rice. Yeah, you can see it's a little bit, sometimes I put a little bit too little water in and it's too thick. But of course I'm going to make sure that I drink a good amount of water with this. And then I've got my homemade cappuccino here with my Nespresso machine, and it's made with unsweetened almond milk. Yeah. So this is going to be my pre-workout meal. I'm going to work out in about an hour, and I'll show you my intra workout. Hey guys, good morning. So I had my pre-workout meal. I had my cream of rice about an hour and a half ago, and now I'm getting ready to go downstairs for my workout. Today I'm doing legs, so nothing different for my intra workout for leg days. However, my back days I have been doing a little bit more intra carbs. So I'm gonna put together my workout drink. So I'm doing 5 grams of creatine monohydrate. It's just a straight up powder. I'm doing a scoop of essential amino acids. And then this is where I use the scale. I'm going to tare this to 0, and at the moment I'm just using a Gatorade powder for my intra-workout carb source. Normally I would use the recovery product from Granite Supplements. Use code LeahFitness10 for a little bit of savings. But I ran out of that, and we have Gatorade powder on hand all the time. It is a little bit cheaper as well. So I can save you a little bit of money. So I'm just going to measure out 30 grams of Gatorade powder, which is about a 1-to-1 ratio of, it's about a gram of carb per gram of weight. So that makes it really easy. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna add a little bit more water. Then fit the freaking top on, make sure it's closed. Shake it up real good and ready to go. So I'm gonna consume all of this obviously during my workout. I definitely tend to kind of save it. And sometimes I've realized, like, towards the end of my workout, I have only, I have maybe one exercise left and I still have half a shaker bottle full. And the whole point of it is to get the nutrients in your system while you're training. And because then following the workout, we're going to eat a post-workout meal that has more carbs and protein. So I am getting better about drinking this kind of more consistently through the beginning of my workout and through the middle. And then in addition to that, I also bring a full water bottle down with me, so I have just some straight up water to drink. So, all right, let's go train. All right, guys, so I just finished my workout and I'm making my post-workout meal now. Because I'm in my off season, I like to have a little bit of fun and have a little bit of flexibility with my foods while still staying in line with my macros. So today I'm going to do egg whites and a bagel, and this has been my post-workout for a little bit. When I get into contest prep, I will switch over to probably chicken and rice and just keep it a little bit more clean whole foods. Okay, so I've got some liquid egg whites here. I'm going to do a cup of these. I've got my pan already warmed up. And I am literally just doing the most basic thing here, nothing fancy. I'm just pouring the egg whites into a warm frying pan. I have an everything bagel. Let's stick that in the oven. So the bagel is giving me 50 grams of carbs, which is what my goal is for my post-workout meal. And I think I have 5 grams of fat and 30 grams of protein. So I am going to be getting my fat from a low-fat cream cheese for the bagel. Again, not an ideal source of fat, but I'm getting healthy fats from other things in my diet: avocado, peanut butter, olive oil, beef, egg yolks. So again, I am just trying to have a little bit of fun with food and still stay in line with my macros in the off season. I think one of the big misconceptions is that you can't eat anything good or anything that's, not whole foods ever. And bagels are bad and carbs are bad. And, it's all about strategically eating them around your training. And that's really going to help to facilitate recovery, fuel your workout. And, for me, my goal is to build muscle right now. So it's going to help me accomplish that. So I'm going to sprinkle some sea salt on my eggs. I definitely want that salt replenishment post-workout. And some fresh ground pepper. So depending on how you like your bagel toasted, I don't have a toaster, obviously. And so I just use the good old oven. So I've got my eggs, I got my bagel, and I am going to measure my cream cheese, just like I do with my peanut butter. I weigh it. I measure it from the container. So I'm gonna put the container on the scale, tear it to 0, and then I'm going to take out cream cheese until I hit 30 grams, which is 2 tablespoons. And that will give me 5 grams of fat. Perfect. And now everything. That's if you lick your knife or whatever. everything is accounted for. All right, post-workout meal, bagel, and egg whites. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but give me a good dose of, it's white bread, fast digesting carbs, a little bit of fat, and egg whites for protein. So there you have it, my post-workout meal. So if you guys have any questions, as always, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think or what you might want to see more of. And as I phase into prep, probably within the next couple of weeks, I will do another video on how things change and shift during my contest prep. And yeah, we'll go from there. So thanks for joining me, and see you next time.